Hello guys, glad to have you on board again. Today we have a lot to talk about. The capital is bleeding out of the cryptocurrency sector. We're right into the flushing pattern. I'm really disappointed I kind of missed that shot, even though I was forecasting this one for quite a while. And actually just putting out that scenario of potential recorrelation phase to come with the altcoins regarding Bitcoin, and to have some kind of pump of the altcoins before dumping them just got me wrong-footed, even though selling the flushing pattern was my first scenario back then. This was the scenario I was expecting in the end to trade, and putting in that bullish scenario on the altcoin just got me out of my initial scenario. My scenario was to go back there, find a 61% retracement, selling, and searching for sell entries, and just get to the bear side for the final flushing pattern. And actually what's happening right now is exactly what I was forecasting back then, and I just didn't follow my plan. Doesn't know really why. The fact that back then I expected the market to just try again the double top, or try twice below the same level, and that might have been my mistake in here, just to project myself into a very specific scenario and didn't let enough room for the market to just do as it wants. And that might be a mistake in here. So the price is going down right now. I should be profiting from this instead of holding my Ethereums after dumping half of them to get some to get some cash available to buy at lower prices later. So what I'm facing right now is not very it's not great. It's not what I was expecting actually. Even though that was the scenario. So I just made a mistake in here. I should have followed the initial plan instead of trying to make extra cash by buying speculatively when the overall scenario was basically to sell. So the capital bleeding right now is nothing that I'm surprised to see. It was actually forecasted back then. I'm just a little bit disappointed not to profit from it. So that was just to set things straight before we get started. I should get in there, I should be in there, so what's happening right now is nothing close to be surprising. But the thing is that right now you should put technicals into the background for just a little while, meaning that you have to forecast, you have to assess that what we're seeking right now is a very particular thing. I'm looking at volume and volume only. And I'm not going to look at Bitstamp just for a simple reason. That's a trick I'm going to give you. And here, okay, the technicals, I mean, using the indicators right now is not going to be possible, because what we should face should be a fast and brutal pattern triggering. As I was expected, as I said, normally we should just dump without ever giving a single retracement. I mean, this is going to be even less retracing than what we had back then. And this should go there, I mean, kind of ranging and getting into a final bearish vertical phase. So first of all, you don't sell right here. You're not selling a support. It's not possible. I mean, the support area is right here on the Bitcoin. You don't sell that until it has broken down. And if you want to sell it, you can sell, but it's basically 5,600, and you have to take your profits pretty early. So I don't think this is viable right now to be in the short side. It's way too late, so I'm not going to reverse and go bearish right now. At that point, I'm just going to wait to have great prices to buy and a decent buy signal. The thing is that as the price will move fast, cycles will not be respected, which means if you're expecting to have a double signal from both sine wave and momentum, you're probably going to have to suffer not finding the bottom. So I have generally in those cases a simple argument. The thing is that what I've been doing is basically switching out of Bitstamp, because remember the psychology I'm researching in here in that pattern, which is the final stage of a crashing market. Not the final stage. There is one more step coming ahead, coming later. The first step in here is what we call the flushing pattern. It's just that we're going to flush out all the speculators who've been putting leverage, which means we'll go as low as necessary to take them down and fuck their stop losses. So that's the objective, that's the goal in here, to fuck up all speculators, no matter how much that costs, no matter how low we need to go, we'll go there just to get them out. So it's hard to forecast a really precise target. All I can tell in here is that the market will go as low as possible. We'll try to wreck as much stop losses as possible. We're going to highlight some potential targets in which prices are very dangerous to sell, which means we might find some bullish support on those areas. First of all, right here, when we go below 5,300, right here we're going to start finding some bullish support, which means all this area between that volume and that breakdown level pretty much leaves us a $1,300 area in which I think being a seller in there is not possible. So for those who have been selling, you can forecast the breakdown of that area in here, probably going to happen. But until we get to, as long as we will reach out to the area 4,300, approximately that price area, you should really consider taking them out and not remaining a seller on the market. That will probably make a very brutal V-bottom. Meaning we'll get there in a day, we'll get out of this in a day as well. So if you're not in front of your computer, don't let the prices go down forever. The worst choice will be to let it go with your bearish position and not taking them out. Remember that we're final stages of a crashing pattern, which means if you fail to take the profits, it will probably reverse brutally and just turn what was a nice gain into less of a gain, not to say eventually a loss for those who've been selling very low prices. Okay, so don't play that game. To me, in terms of aggressive trading and risk-reward ratios, it's no longer possible to get into selling. It's way too late, and the next possible selling timing is not going to get that much of a money. It's probably going to take you down from 5,200 to 4,400. It's probably something that is going to be done in less than half an hour. It's going to go straight forward there, so probably going to have some slippage and nothing that you want to absolutely take profits of. Okay, so really, if you missed the shot to the bear side, just wait. I mean, the important thing in there, and that was already that's always been the case, waiting to get the long-term short, the long-term bullish entry that you will have to pay in a buy and hold scenario, which means no leverage is possible there, and you're basically risking the asset to go either zero or getting higher values. So either you're going to get a nice gain or you're going to lose it all. But that's the mindset you should be into right now, putting the money that you afford to lose. We're not using any kind of leverage, because if you're buying, for example, 4,000 on the Bitcoins, you're buying your Bitcoins at 4,000. If we go to 1,000, you shouldn't get out. It's just, okay, you've bought it 4 times higher pricings. Doesn't necessarily mean that we won't go higher than 4,000 afterwards. All you care if you do the buy and hold is not what the price will do next. It's all about getting it at that price and holding it. Okay? Right in here, buy and hold was nothing close to a viable scenario. We're reaching prices and patterns in which buy and hold will be reliable, but first you need to let the price flush down all the speculators. Okay? And what I expect, and what I expected all the way through there, is that right now we should have something like that. Slowing down, accelerating, fucking all the stop losses in a few days, and then getting back here and destroying volatility. This is what we call the despair phase. We're going to get there for no reasons. Once again, there is nothing to be rational out there. It's nothing that you want to explain or understand. It's just how it will be, probably. That's the most probable. Doesn't say it's going to happen for sure. All I say is that this is the most probable scenario. Just fuck up all the speculators at once. No matter why, we don't give a shit about understanding the why. The thing is that we just need to get them out of the game, and whenever speculators will be out, we'll be ready to work again at a long-term scenario. Okay? First, we flush out the speculators, then we make the desert pricing, which means we're not going to move for a long time, and probably this big support area in here is going to be support again. We're going to get over it and stay there for a while before eventually slowly returning to grinding up the resistances. Okay, and we probably might have to suffer another drop in between. It generally is the case. I mean, generally the market is doing the desert phase, meaning we could very well do nothing until the end of that year, and you guys will just suffer from lack of patience. You'll be there and saying, fuck, I've been buying, I need to have the price going up right now. What the hell? We said buy and hold, so you don't give a shit about how long you wait. It's just you damn wait. And for those who are not able to wait, you just get the fuck out. You're just gonna lose your money. Okay? You have to learn patience the hard way. Only those who will survive the flushing pattern. Think it that way. Those who will get decent prices on Bitcoins are those who will have not put it leverage, which means those who will survive the flushing pattern, and then those who will have the patience to make a buy and hold. So those who will suffer, those who will survive the desert part, which means in here it's gonna be very difficult for beginners to hold the trades, because basically whenever you bot, you want to have rewards, you want to have positive values, and at that point it's just gonna do nothing. It's just going to provide no gain. So you're going to be there saying, oh shit, it's not going to work again. I'm losing my time and probably losing my money as well. So I'm just going to get out. You don't want to release the calls in here. You just want to damn buy and fucking hold. So you don't release anything at that point. You bought great prices and you just made a bet. Either it's going to work or it's not going to work. But you're not going to change your mind in between. Think Schrodinger's cat box. You put it in the box, you just don't damn open that box until you get to at least break up 10,000s. What happens in between is nothing that you care about. It's either that shit will worth $0 and then you just lost your money, or that thing gets to work out its way to 10,000s, and in that point you will know that the trend is about to restore to the bull side, and you'll start taking profits to pay for your stop losses, putting some stop losses, and get back to eventually start some speculation again. But the buy and hold has to remain in place as long as you haven't broke up at least 8,900. We need to break up a resistance, which means we need to break that price to restore some bullishness in that market. And this may take a while. And as I said, we could very well have another drop in between. And if you are surrendering your gains in here, I mean, you'll have to suffer a first drop, then suffer the desert part. Okay, no volatility, the market's just doing nothing. Maybe another drop just to fuck up those who are doubting. I mean, if you are having doubts in the desert, this is where we're gonna flush the doubters. Those who will have doubts, they will say, okay, shit, it's going down again. I'm probably sure I'm gonna take a loss, and the market is going to go 2,000 or whatever, and just gonna release at the lowest price. Okay, the market is going to try to wrong foot you so many times. I mean, it's already been doing this for so long, and it's not finished yet. Only those who will have the mindset to get through all those tests will be able to survive and have decent prices for their bitcoins. All of those who've been stupidly buying out here, they're just already out for most of those. Okay, you need to have a mindset. We're going to test your resilience, and only those who will do it with a mindset, with a projection, with a plan, only those will survive and have decent bitcoins amounts in the end. That was the initial goal. You wanted to have bitcoins at good prices. I'm giving you a mindset and a plan to get to there. So if you're following it, probably going to make it out there. If you're not following it, playing on your own, playing dangerously, playing with leverage, you're probably going to die out there. And that just, you kind of deserved it to me. I mean, I warned you, and if you got against me for no reasons, then you're going to have to pay the price. I mean, I'm a professional, and most of you guys are just beginners or trying to learn the hard way. So, I mean, I'm not saying I will obviously be right, but I have much, much better odds to be right than you will. Okay, so now that being said, what you need to watch out for right now is volume. This is the conclusion I wanted to get to. The thing is that I will expect something like that. Maybe not that high of a volume, but at least we need to go higher than that. So what you'll do is that basically you're not going to take Bitstamp, because Bitstamp is not allowing leverage trading. And what I want to take people out is the leverage trader. So you're going to take the best ever leverage platform, which is Bitfinex. So you go down Bitfinex, and you're going to take their volume. I want to see at least that volume, at least the volume we traded back then. It's the minimum that you need to have. So the way you'll do it is going to take the volume, you're going to unmerge it down, and you're going to put an alert on that. So you say, what I want, for example, in here regarding Bitcoin is at least 95K, okay? So this is what I want. So I'm going to put an alert on this at 100K. Okay, I want to put it 100. As long as we don't have that volume, I don't give a damn, okay? Nothing is my concern. So you can say, you can put it lower values if you want. You can say, for example, I'll be enough with 75k, and that will give you some edge to act eventually a little bit earlier. Okay, because remember the volume will be there. The volume will be there when the candle closes. So if we go down, if you want to trigger at the lowest possible prices, at the best possible prices, you might not want to wait to having 1,000s, but probably I expect some volume like that, something similar. So expect some damn big volume, okay? But first of all, you wait for the volume to pick up. As long as it hasn't, you don't go into trading. And I don't necessarily think that this is right now, okay? As I said, I think Bitcoin is probably going to grind its way down to the level, working out the support area one last time, and then having probably the final drop, okay? So that was the initial scenario. I'm sorry I was wrong to try buying the altcoins. That was a dumb scenario. But anyway, I have no regret trying that one. I mean, that was a scenario fitting the strategy application. I thought that we had a distortion through prices and that I could profit from that distortion. I was just wrong. Actually, the initial scenario just triggered earlier than expected, but that's how it is. I mean, when you speculate, you can be wrong, and moreover, you're generally wrong in timing, and that's exactly what happened in there. I was just wrong in the decorrelation scenario that I wanted to profit from in the short term, and I was wrong in the timing of triggering the final scenario I was forecasting already back then. Okay, so that being said, I'm just moving out. Just same thing goes for Ethereum or any other cryptocurrency asset you want to buy. You might want to wait to have some very picking up volume. And especially onto platforms that have the reputation to have probably the biggest speculators. Those who are offering leverage trading are needed, which is not the case with Bitstamp, which means this is not the platform I'm caring about. Okay, those who are trading inside Bitstamp, they might be doing buy and hold because they have the money to pay for the Bitcoins, not leverage Bitcoins, okay? So those who are using Bitstamp basically do just like I do. They can do buy and hold because it's just bought with real dollars, real euros, and nothing like margin trading, which is not the case in Bitfinex, okay? Those who are trading in there are trading mostly with leverage, and these are the guys I want to take down. All right, that being said, moving on to our general markets. So today we have nothing interesting, so no catalysts. We've got the AUDNZD during the night, and as you can see, this has been doing fucking damn great. This was expected, but we got a damn burst out of AUDNZD. That was expected. I'm fucking happy, even though Wall Street's trying to fuck me up again today, trying to get me GBP/USD to stop out, trying to stop me out on the gold. Yesterday, when I saw this, I said, damn it, they're going to take me the maximum loss on GBP/USD and probably on the gold as well. It's going to be a big loss and something I don't really want to have right now. I don't want to lose like 6 to 7 to eventually even 10% drawdown if all the scenarios were to trigger maximum losses. Because I'm nearly on maximum losses on gold, nearly maximum losses on GBP/USD, which means I'm down the corner, down the wall, and I cannot move the stop losses further away that time because it's maximum loss. At that point, I've been playing, narrowing the leverage, putting the stop loss away. At some point, this is maximum stop loss. I have to put a limit to every scenario I do trade, and we're reaching those limits, which means I've been taking too much risks, and basically Wall Street is about to fuck me up if they manage to do it, and so far they haven't, which means GBP/USD, the prices we're currently trading are just nonsense to me. We have nothing to do right here. I can pay my stop loss right here, but if we're going down there, I'm just having to trigger those, which means if we go there, I'm out and I'm fucked. That's how it is. If I'm fucked, I'll be so damn... I know the market is about to reverse in the next following days or weeks in here. I see so many low probabilities for the market to just collapse in there. But I don't want to take that risk. I just can't take that risk. At some point, I have to release the gains. I have to release the losses and take them out. That's how it is. Maximum loss. I'm going to take a 3 to 4% loss in there. Probably another 3 to 4% loss in the gold as well, because I've been starting to buy this one right up here and bought right up here and bought right. I've tried too many times, and this is maximum loss in the end. Same thing goes for GBP USD. I've been trying to buy since then and just got fucked up because of that damn dollar. And the dollar's been fucking me up for a month right now. I hope at some point I'll be right, but there is a maximum loss. All right, so I might be taking this one, but I'm so damn fucking happy to have the AUDNZD as well today, because this one is paying for all those damn losses into one single scenario. AUDNZD, leverage 7, you can multiply this 1.3% by 7. So even if I do take the double maximum loss on gold and GBP USD, it's gonna be damn paid by the AUDNZD, and that makes me fucking happy, because even if Wall Street's fucking me up, I'll get the money in the end. All I care is not losing. Making money is easy, not losing is the hardest way to trade. And if I don't lose money in those scenarios, I'll be pretty fucking happy to do so. So that's all I had to say today. It's just basically waiting, trying to figure out what the hell's at play with Wall Street. So I'm not going to analyze these things simply because these are not things to me anymore. It's just noise, and these are no longer markets. They're not trading anything that like technicals. It's just like the market is dead. We don't give a shit. We're just going to kill it once and for all. But before we bury it to the ground, we're just going to take all the money it has in its pocket. It's just like it is. We're just going to flush out Wall Street, but before we do it, we're going to take it all. We're going to take all we can. So this is how it is. I mean, we're just taking all the money out of Wall Street before letting it go, and it's not going to go up for years. So first of all, you don't fight that, okay? The market is not technical anymore. It's nothing close to something that you can rationalize or think about. It's just stupidly going up forever until we fucking break the car. So we just go that way, play it by the rule. If I have to take the losses because of Wall Street's stupid behavior, I'll have to release the losses, and that's no problem. I'll take even bigger gains in the end. It's just that if you're playing the holder game, saying it's gonna go down, obviously that's how it is, so I'm holding the losses and I'm holding the short positions in the negative return. Damn it, you are totally out of context. Remember one thing, this is damn chaos theory. Even though you think something the hardest way, if you have the strongest conviction ever, like I do have, you don't hold because you don't know what's about to come. It remains forever, will be chaos theory. No matter what you think, it can go the opposite side forever. So you don't try to control the market. If you're proven wrong, you just get the damn hell out, and you'll probably have to sell again later. So if Wall Street's taking me another stop loss on the Nasdaq, I'll give it away. I'll just clap them and congratulate the bulls, saying, okay, good for you, you got me once again. But no matter how, I'll get you in the end, and I'll get far more money than the one you took me, even though you took me multiple speculative scenarios out of the game. Because that's what they've done. Back then, they took me a lot of speculative scenario down. I took a lot more money when I got them down. And this is exactly the same thing I'm going to play in the next following month. If they have to take some money out of me right here, I'm going to take more money out of them later. It's just how it goes. I'll get more money than they do in the end. It's just a matter of time. But those who are holding their losses, those will have very dangerous problems ahead. I won't. I'll just be patient and I'll get the money in the end. It's just a matter of scenario and risk management. If Wall Street's deciding to take me down, I'll let them do it. I know that might sound really contradictory to most of you guys, but this is the hard way you need to learn that lesson. If you try to fight, you're never going to win unless you do it the right way. You just fight when you know you're going to win. You don't fight when you think you're going to win. That's a big, big difference. Think like a poker player. I mean, a poker player doesn't get to put all in unless he's sure he's going to get the money in the end. You don't fight if you're not sure to win. And at that point, I see that Wall Street, no matter how technical, or many technicals are suggesting that we might fall apart, they are not falling apart. I don't know why this makes no sense. I don't care about knowing why. All I know is that I'm going to let them do their shit, but taking more money in the end, that's all I care about. Okay? Can take months of stupid behavior in Wall Street, and they can try to hold things up until October or November or whatever. Anyway, we're not going to terminate the week. We're not going to terminate the year without volatility again. So no matter how, no matter what, I'm going to take the money. I'm just thinking, I'm waiting for Q3, Q4 to get to shorting again. I'm just going to let them one more quarter to try moving forward. But I'm going to short them again, and the next time I'll have opportunities to do so. They can trade aside from technicals for some time, but it's not going to be forever. At some point, the technicals will just get back there, and they're just wrong-foot the bulls who are trading just because of what they see. I mean, this is what people are doing right now. Instead of trading smart and trading risk-reward, they're just trading what they see. And they see a market that doesn't want to go down, so they're just buying. I mean, what the hell? This is how you're basing your decisions. What the hell of an argument this is. The market is going up, I'm just going to buy it. Okay, do it. As I said, the easier the thinking process is, the dumber the trade is. And if you got my point, the dumber you trade, the more losses you're going to get in return in the end. So you want to trade dumb in some special cases, like we're currently doing right now. Because if you're thinking, you're going to be wrong. The market is just what I call the odd market. It means that whenever something should be done in a smart way, the market will just do the opposite. But the odd market is less than 10% time of a market, which means I'd rather be wrong 10% times, but be right 90% times than the opposite. So if you want to trade dumb, do it right now, but obviously 90% of the time I'm going to take your money. So you can take mine 10% times, but anyway, we're going to obviously get back to the 90% at some point. So I'm just basically waiting for it. The market is doing nonsense trading, creating heavy distortions here and there regarding the dollar, regarding everything that is suffering right now from what Wall Street's doing. It's not going to last forever. And when it's not going to last, probably something like that we'll have to expect, and even more, and even deeper than that. And I'll be there to take the money. So they can take me down 1, 2, 3, 4 times, take me 10% drawdowns. I don't give a shit. I'm going to get the money in the end. Just because I'm trading smarter and I'm trading with a risk-reward ratio, and no matter how, and no matter how long, I'll get the money in the end. Because the more I play, the more I gain. But as any statistical advantage doesn't necessarily mean that a one-shot call is going to make you a gainer. Okay, they can make me a loser 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 times in a row. Obviously, at some point, I'll be a gainer. It's how it works. I have a statistical advantage. The more I play, the more I have odds to gain. But that can be proven wrong 10 times in a row before getting it right. That's how it is. I have no fear trading. I have no fear losing. All I know is that I need patience and strategy and respecting that strategy. Anytime I will go aside from this might be an additional losses that I shouldn't take. All the losses I'm taking right now, I'm accepting those. Wall Street's just taking my money into the short-term run. In the longer term, I'll get the return. I get more money. And that's all I care about. I'm not seeing short-term scenarios. All I care is the long term to get me more money than the one I'm spending. Okay, so this is something that I've been trying to teach you guys the hard way. You need to think smart, and you need to think outside the single trades. It's nothing close to being a single trades out there. It's really thinking large scale. This is where the statistical advantage is at play. Even if Wall Street's proving me damn wrong for a month, it's not going to last forever. We're going to get back to technicals, and whenever we'll do, I'll be there to take the money. And then the market will switch back to technical again. But for some reasons, the market is not technical all the time. It's going to prove you wrong at some point. This is what we call the odd market, and this will be today's lesson. So whenever you have an odd market, you're trying anyway. No matter how long it takes, at some point it's going to get back to normal. It's like a return to the mean scenario. It's like we're creating volatility. We're moving stupidly into one side. Like it makes you thinking that it's going to go up forever like that. But at some point we're returning to the mean. And that's how we're doing right now. The market is supposed to act normally, and it's no longer doing it. It can last for some time, but not forever. It's been 4 times we're in being into that scenario, because we've been trying the first manipulation in here was right in April. So we started distorting the market in April. which means now we're August, so it's been 4 to 5 months we're into that scenario. It's not going to last another 4 to 5 months. It can last another 1, 2, but that's all we do. As I said, I'm ready to give them another quarter ahead of stupid trading, but at some point we're going to get back to smart trading, which is risk-reward ratio, and I'll get back to making gains. I'll have a downturn, a drawdown in the next 4 to 5 months trading the US markets. But anyway, in the end, you know how it works. So moving on and trying to see if there is anything else I can trade in here. We have a problem in there with the German bounds. This is not supposed to be there. We should have exploding bounds to the upside, but instead of this, we're having some strange behavior into bounds. So I don't really know how to trade that shit. As I said, in here is not normal anyway. But just patiently waiting to see how it goes. But normally we should have higher rates, and we'll see. That's a dangerous scenario. Anyway, I've got expiration like half September. No, it's early September. I think it's the 5th of September. So if for some reasons the market stay there until the 5th of September, which is absolutely abnormal, then no problem. I'm going to take the gain and just buy again the next market expiration. That's going to be December. And believe me, this one is not going to stay below 0.5% yields on a 10-year German yield, 10-year German bond. We're probably going to have to terminate clearly closer than 1%, which means, okay, you can fuck me up with the timing once again regarding September, but anyway, in the end, I'm going to get the money because you have to go there until December. Okay, so that's how it is. I don't know how we'll get there. All I know is that we have much higher probability to go there, or even higher than that, than staying in that price market, in that price area. Sorry. So something else that's not doing exactly the way I expect right now. No, sorry, something that is doing as I expect is this. We're consolidating in here, so I'll take the next bearish impulse. So next time we go in there, I'll make a buy entry on the lows regarding that market. So right in here is where I want to buy. So this is a buy entry. I've already taken the profit on Shanghai Composite. No, sorry, I wasn't shorting this one. I was short on the Hang Seng Index. So I've been taking the gains on Hang Seng, and now I want to be buying Shanghai Composite. So this is entry buy. Yes. Okay, so I'm ready to buy in here. So 2,640 HK dollar. No, it's damn it. The Shanghai Composite. What's that currency again? No. So anyway, I'm going to search for this. So this is how it is, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an ongoing scenario, and the wave 5 still needs, I think, another push back to the lower levels, as I think we made 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It leaves us with a 5th wave to make. I could be wrong, but as long as we haven't broke a resistance and things like that, I think we still have probabilities to get to lower values. So I'm patiently waiting in there to get nice returns. But I think buying Chinese is interesting then, as we might see buying Chinese and selling US happening in the same time, as we had the opposite later on. I mean, look at the correlation. It's just stunning to think that generally the stock market is trading in cycle. No shit, that's not what I want. God damn it. Get the hell out of here. So we're going to move to the daily chart. Okay, so as you can see, this is really a stunning decorrelation. Started there. Even started there. I mean, as you can see, the market is trading in cycle, but at some point, Wall Street is never suffering for any downside the world is having. Okay, stock market is moving up forever for everyone, so it's good. Money is spreading all around the world, and then it all started back then. Right here, Chinese suffered, like America was first. America first. I mean, like, what the damn shit have you know that you've been electing the dumbest president ever, and you really think it's gonna work out fine. You know it's gonna end, and it's not gonna be pretty. I mean, this guy has a tragic scenario ahead, and I mean, we'll see, but I have no faith that you're going to have a decent president until the end of its mandate. I think it's not going to terminate it. Don't know how, but I think something is going to go wrong at some point, and you've been benefiting from it since then. Don't think it's going to last longer. So you'll see about that, but I think at some point what we had in here is going to slowly start not benefiting you and benefiting the Chinese. And at some point, this is clearly a decorrelation. And as you can see, you are going to go down, they're going to go up, and we're going to return to the mean and then see how it goes later. Either both will go down afterwards, or everyone will go up. But I don't think it that way. I think both are going to go down, which means anyway you're nearly trading historical highs right now. It's just a matter of time. We can do shit for an extended 2 to 3 months, but anyway, in the end, this thing is we'll have to pick up. This is not how it's supposed to happen. You cannot go down and up on equities. That's not how it goes. Which means USD CNH is going to have to suffer some downside, and I think this is the most profitable scenario at the moment. But everyone is not figuring out right now. It's like, this is a big, beautiful trend. We have to play that one. So keep on pushing forever. Like, no one is trying to think. No one is thinking risk-reward ratio. Everyone is just thinking, keep on pushing the damn trends as long as we can and just riding the thing. Who the hell is trading that way? Remember that the markets are not there to see how far we can go. This is not how we're supposed to do. We're supposed to find equilibrium price to balance both supply and demand, and not just keep on pushing stupidly the same way forever and see how far we can go before breaking it all. This is not how it works. This is not how a market is supposed to behave. But this is what we're behaving right now. We're just pushing the trends as far as we can, no matter how stupid this is. We'll just keep on going the same way. As long as we haven't been breaking things to go on the opposite afterwards and doing the same exact opposite stupid thing. It's like, this is abnormal, we shouldn't have to go lower than that. We've been all that way low, and then we're doing the stupid thing on the opposite side again. This is just damn nonsense to trade that way. So it's not going to last forever. The market is irrational, and it can last for some time like that, but it's not going to be there forever. So that was today's lesson regarding the odd market. So don't think that what you're seeing right now is normal. It isn't, and the market isn't behaving like that generally. It's just a temporary thing, and if you're thinking that you just learned a great lesson from the market today, no, you haven't. It's just that's not normal market, and that's not what you want to learn to trade in the future. This is when moments like that are happening, instead of just thinking that you need to change your strategy because your strategy is not performing enough, and that you might be wrong just using it today. It's not how it is. When you pick the strategy that works out, you just stick to it. And if your strategy has been put it at risk into short-term scenarios or things like that, you just take the losses. They are part of the game, even though they might be piling upon each other, taking 3, 4, 5 losses in a row. Just hang in there. I mean, that's how it is. If you go play roulette, you can have 5 to 10 times a red number in a row, and that still remains a statistical advantage that mix anyway 50-50 between red and black. But this requires a thousand throw. That's how it is. You need to throw the dice 1,000 times to get a statistical advantage. That's the exact same thing happening in trading. I don't give a shit being wrong a few times later. All I care is that anyway, afterwards, in the end, I'll get more right than wrong, and this is all I care about. So, what the hell, what else could have been missing out there? We're going to make something about Tesla today. If I have the time, I'm going to make a video just about Tesla, because I think Musk is heading into very, very dangerous areas in there, and it's not going to end well, just like Trump. I mean, Trump is a narcissist, a huge damn fucking narcissist, doubled by what I call a commercial. I mean, he's got commercial talent. These guys are geniuses. Somehow, at some point, they've got something that is nearly comparable to geniuses. But don't compare them to some guys like Steve Jobs. I mean, Steve Jobs is a creative genius. It's been anticipating people's needs before they even figured out they were needing this. This is creative genius. I mean, this guy has been creating iPhone. He's been revolutionating smartphones, your telephones. I mean, even the word, back then we were calling this a telephone. Now it's a smartphone, and the guy just invented it out of nothing. It just changed the way we used our telephones into smartphones. So the guy was a creator. Who the hell do you think Musk is? It created shit. It created nothing. I mean, VE was existing way before it created the first Tesla. What it's been doing is just picking a very common name that people liked because everyone knew about Tesla and thinking that the guy is great. So who's the great inventor in there? It's actually Tesla, but it's nothing like Musk. I mean, Tesla was a fucking genius, but it's a genius who died long ago. So the guy just took the name to put himself into that kind of geniuses. But the thing is that Musk is nothing close to a genius. It's just a commercial genius. So his real talent is just to be able to sell you some very expensive shit that you don't need at very expensive prices. So this is genius to be able to do this. I mean, it's like Trump. Trump has been making you vote for him even though he has no plan, is now applying the most stupid ever political agenda. I mean, what the fucking hell? It's just, the worst in there is that he's doing what he's been saying back then, but it was just making no sense what he's been doing. I mean, the guy just sold you some miraculous thing that by going alone, you'll be stronger. In a globalized world, this is not how it works. I mean, if you isolate yourself, you're just going to terminate alone and aside from global trade. And this is what's going to end for the U.S. economy if it keeps on going that stupid way. You're going to turn yourself out of the Chinese. And do you really think the world is going to suffer from what you've been doing for you forever? No. What the hell? We're just going to join against you. Means you're going to lose partnerships, and partnerships will create against you. And this is not something you're going to profit from. This is something you're going to lose from. So just thinking that way, the European Parliament just signed up a free trade deal with Japan, which means we will never ever put any tariff on them, and they will never put tariffs on us. This is how it goes, and I mean, this is what is pending for you. This was the first of many to come. We're going to do probably the same with China soon enough, which means the entire world is just going to join together against you, and you're not going to like it. Because we're going to turn down the dollar as an international currency, which means you're going to be alone, and you're going to be really, really alone. Because today you're profiting from this, because even if you are alone, we have to use your damn currency. But it's not going to be the case tomorrow, and whenever this will turn down, I think Trump will have just killed the best advantage you had back then just by playing stupid at the negotiation table. I mean, just going in there, sitting like a redneck and saying, okay, fuck it, I'm not discussing with you until you get to my demands. I mean, this is how you do business? No, it's not how you do business. So the guy isn't like a businessman. He's just a damn fucking commercial guy who is selling you dreams, and you're going to pay for it. Okay? So you US guys, I'm sorry to tell you this. This is nothing personal. It's the thing that the guy you've been putting as president is having a very dangerous political agenda, and even though you're profiting from this right now, in the long run you're going to suffer from it more than you've been gaining. So this is nothing like it is not a win-win situation when you put Trump at play, because the way he's negotiating is not going to win anything. It's just going to lose precious things that you had back then. I mean, the gold invested in dollar, that's hell of an advantage that we don't have in Europe. The oil priced in dollar is nothing like an advantage that we have in Europe. And you really think that we're going to let you do that forever if you just push us down the corner? No, we're not. We're going to fuck up your dollar, and you're not going to like it, because this was your best ever chance to be stronger than everyone else. Yes, you've got the strongest GDP, but believe me, China is going to have a stronger than you in the next quarters, in the next economic cycle. I mean, this is where everything in the world is produced. Who's the biggest market cap in the US? Apple. Great. Where are the goods from Apple produced? China. which means if China just decides to just fuck you up tomorrow and put a 10% tariff on all the electronic devices exported to the US, which means your fucking iPhones are going to go 10% more. If they put it to 25%, they're just going to kill Apple. So, do you really think you got something to win out there? No, you haven't. So Trump is just a stupid guy playing a very dangerous game, and it's not going to end well. And you'll see that what Musk has just done in here is just exactly the same narcissist behavior, and generally those guys have a tragic ending. We're going to dig a lot deeper in there, but I kind of wanted to tease you out in there. The subject of that topic will basically be what happens when you put narcissists right in the center of attention. They do stupid choices and they'll have to pay for the consequences at some point, which means a narcissist always makes the same mistake when it accesses to light. When it gets into the light, they always make the same mistake. They all do make the same mistake. And we're going to talk about this probably this afternoon. So anyway, I'm going to move on to your questions and terminate this one. So, name of the momentum oscillator. It's just my momentum oscillator. I call that pro momentum. Think you are wrong, coding. Yes, obviously I was wrong. I'm not the kind of guy who run away from its mistakes and losses. I mean, really, that's the wrong way. I've been buying this and it's not working well, so I decided to take 50% off the table and might have to take another 50% in the next following hour. So not right now. We're working around support, and as I said, if you're going out to Ethereum right now on the 2-hour chart time frame, and what we're having in here is a taking profit pattern, not yet confirmed by momentum, so we can still go slightly lower than that, but basically we've been working some breakouts already in here, and we might have some pullbacks. So this is not the area in which I want to trigger stop losses, okay? So I might need to take another 50% out off the table just to have more money to buy at lower prices. But to be clear, I think we have a very strong potential support near $330. So right now, I'm not really necessarily wanting to release some Ethereums, because this is basically it. I mean, if I'm selling some, I'm not ready to do it right now, and especially not on support areas. So for now, I basically hold on to those. I'm not buying them with leverage, which means I have the ability to just hold them at short term. But I did want to take 50% off the table just to get money to buy again at lower prices. So for now, I'm pretty convenient with I'm pretty happy with the with the management I'm having around this, which means I have quite some cash to buy again at lower prices. But anyway, the prices I've been paying back then are not worst prices ever. I mean, it's not like the guys who've been buying Ethereums right here, been buying them right there. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, I think we're gonna get to those prices anyway. So it's not that bad. It's just that I want to have available cash to buy at much better prices. Consider this as I want to accumulate Ethereums and Bitcoins at decent prices. I think anything from here to there is a decent price. I've been taking down price, but I didn't know back then it was the down prices. I think now the smart prices are right there, so I'm going to take some money out of down prices to buy at smart prices, and on the average I'm going to have interesting prices, and that's all I care about. Okay, consider it as a long run. You don't necessarily want to have and catch the bottom. All you want is to have good enough prices to buy and hold at the long run. That's how it is, okay? All the signals were for a bump. This is crazy market in Wales. No, that's not how it is. This was planned. Once again, I told you long ago that we'll have that flushing pattern. It's just that I've been messing around with timing, and that's how it is. I mean, timing can go complicated, and it just went down that way, and it just got me in as I wanted to short on the origin. So I just got messed out in here. I should have just followed the initial plan, and instead of buying, I should just have waited to get potential selling entries. I decided to buy. It's an additional. It's an unnecessary loss I just took in here. But that's how it is. I mean, I'm no perfect person. All I care is that the loss is tiny, and I'll help to make better gains in the end. Eventually, the market will give us a positive surprise. This is the reason I've been keeping 50% on the table. I haven't been putting it all the way out, but I've been putting enough out to have enough money to buy again later with better prices. I don't know if you see the difference in there. Do you expect BTC to still fill the gap on the abandoned baby creating? What? Oh yes, we will. Obviously we will. I think we obviously have chances to go there, as I think we're going to break down that support. That was the plan, to go back to 6,000 after a pullback. We've made that pullback on the BTC. We haven't done that pullback on the altcoins, but BTC did follow the scenario. We've been taking the bullish gains. All I've been doing right now is just surrendering those gains. I mean, with the speculative bullish losses, I've been surrendering all the gains I've been making with the bullish BTC scenario. It's just it. I've been losing that money. So I took a gain, and I've been giving away that gain on a stupid scenario. So, but that's how it is. That's how it works. I'm not perfect. So anyway, I think we're going to fill the gap. Yes, that was the plan, to go lower and break down the 6,000s in a very brutal, sharp reversal that no one see coming. This is exactly what's at play right now. Nobody's seen it coming. Even me got wrong-footed. Even that was my initial scenario. So great, guys. Those who've been putting the market to the downside, really great job, because even I was forecasting this and didn't see it coming. So really great. Anyway, why sell at 12K when we break 10K US dollar? Oh, I don't really get that. Safe to say 15K and 20K will be next. You can do it, but as I said, it's a dangerous scenario, and if you're forecasting 15K, you and I are not agreeing. As I said, my scenario to me regarding the Bitcoin is this, is that for us to go there, doing this, probably having another drop just to test your resilience once again, as we said before. And the fact is that what I expect is the market to just break down, making a deep pullback, and then getting in there. Okay, probably something like that. Okay, probably this is where we're gonna make the big move. Okay, consider this one is probably gonna be the big move, but I think this is where everyone is gonna go wrong afterwards. Is the fact that I don't see that market to go up forever. I think people will think that we'll create another bubble. I'm pretty damn sure about it. I already see this coming. Whenever we'll get to break eventually the 20,000s, everyone will say, okay, the next move is obviously parabolic, and we'll have to go there and make another nasty bubble. You're just going to play by what happened in the past and thinking that it's going to play the same way forever. I don't think that we necessarily will have to create another speculative bubble on the Bitcoins, but mostly just getting higher, not that far, and anyway, I think in here, when everyone will figure out that we need to target 100,000s, we're going to just probably fuck you up in here, and if I see some bearish demand in here, I'll probably have to sell the Bitcoins again. So just I'm going to release most of my Bitcoins and eventually get to short again, because I think we might have a very long bearish market afterwards, a consolidating market, just because thinking that way. If you want this to become a cryptocurrency, okay, just do it that way. I'm going to use the logarithmic scales because I know you guys like the logarithmics, okay. But this is how it is. I think that the bottom we'll make here is a bottom that will last for decades, which means if you're buying the lows that we're having here, we're never ever going to get lower than that. But we're not going to go further away from the market tops. So we're not. No, logarithmic scale is not doing a good job. I think what we're doing right here is the final bubble on the Bitcoin. We've been putting into people's mind, and that was the goal. I mean, right now, that it's a viable potential currency, as it is in people's minds. If it ever has to become a currency is nothing close that you create bubbles out of. So I don't think that we're going to create bubble for the next cycle, but most likely having a 3 to 4 years, not necessarily, I think that one is going to be shorter than that. I think we're going to just have 1 to 2 to 3 years of bullish momentum, probably just 2 years, which leaves us half of 2018 to terminate the crash, or let's say the final quarters of 2018, probably I expect what the hell? So I expect probably just 1 to 2 years of growth in here, and then we just terminate that cycle. So what I expect is, instead of having a brutally exponential momentum, I think we'll have it in the wave 3. Wave 1, 2, 3 will be exponential, but I think wave 5 is just going to be, no, we're not going to get that high, and we're just going to stop there. And at that point, we'll have another brutal reversal consolidation of probably 2 to 4 years consolidating into bearish impulses, but in the end, we're going to get into ranging, which means in the long run, I think Bitcoin is just going to do this. Okay, another thing like that, and another 2 waves. Okay, we're just gonna oscillate. Okay, range. But I think now in the end, the bottom we'll make will be the long-term support area, as well as we might go slightly higher in terms of resistance, but not that high. Okay, so we'll see. This is really a lot of steps ahead. First of all, we need to find the support, we need to hold it, and then we need to restore the bullish trend. It's a many if, ones after the other. So really be patient in there. This is the highest level of speculation. Really a lot of steps ahead. So don't expect this to be true, but just this is the mindset I'm currently trading right now. So I'm not expecting the price to go 100K, not even 50K, 50,000. It's not how it goes. I think we're not going to go that high. No, I haven't lost a lot with my alts. I've been giving the damn numbers, so what the hell do you want to always see it the wrong way? It's just, I've been telling you guys, I've been buying them 7,500 altcoins, Ethereums. I mean, the ripples, they've been got out of the table. Really tiny loss. I had them $250 of ripples. Just lost like 20% on those. So it's literally nothing. It just lost the cost of a restaurant, basically. I have 500 euros of ripples. And just took a tiny loss in there. It's really literally nothing to me. I've been given I just got out of IOTA. I had 250 euros as well in there. So probably really nothing I cared about. All I cared about is having the UTH, in which I've been buying $7,500 of Ethereums. I released instantly half of those at pretty good price. I mean, I got out right before the drop. So if you take the Ethereum dollar, so I was trading in euro, but I'm going to give you the opposite, the reference. I've been getting out in here, so I've done a great job. Basically, I just bought. I had an average price in here, took 50% off the table in here, and I have 50% still ongoing, just in case the market is brutally reversing and being mature already, which I don't think at that point. But I don't want to put everything off the table. I'm just putting off the table because I think we're going to have better prices to buy again. So I just have average price buying in here, average price buying in here. I'll have a decent average price in the end. That's all I care. I'm not wanting to obviously have the bottom. All I want is to have decent prices. And I think, to be honest, that even though I was wrong with the Ethereums, that's just 7,500. First of all, that's not the end of the world, and I keep the free cash to buy Bitcoins right now and no Ethereums again, so I might just holding my Ethereums at that price. I think I'll have a decent reward, not having the low price, but if you got my point, if the scenario is following through on the Ethereums, we should just get for probably to 2,000s, which means buying them at $450 pretty much is a decent price to get to 2,000. Okay, so I'm not necessarily worried in there. And once again, the $3,500 euros equivalent of Ethereums I have right now, it is literally nothing to me. Which means if I have to lose them and just turn those turn those coins into zero value, I wouldn't cry for hell. It really isn't where I would see things. I mean, I'm ready to lose that money. It's not going to change my life at all. It's nothing to me. If I have to lose those 3,000s, that's just going to be a big loss. But really a tiny big speculation, a tiny speculative loss. On speculative losses, I generally surrender 1,500 euros on a single loss, which means I'll take a big loss for a speculative loss. but I don't think that we're going to go to zero value, okay? So this is the reason why I've been putting a little bit more money than I will do on a speculative scenario. But this is a long-term investment. I see an investment potential in there, not a speculative scenario. So this is a different thing, okay? But I hope you got my point. So yes, obviously I was wrong with the Ethereums, but I didn't lost a lot. Not at all. It didn't cost me that big. It just cost me approximately $600 to $700. This is not that big of a deal, really. I'm constantly changing my strategy. Yes, that's the worst choice to make. You rather like to pick a side and hold to it, and just managing the risks. So when you pick the side, you can be wrong in timing, which means you're going to take speculative losses. But sometimes you can be wrong in timing, but not necessarily be taken down, which means the market will just don't do the way you obviously expected it to do. It will behave slightly differently, but it's not necessarily going to take you down either. Okay, do you get that point? You're trying to control the market. Everyone is trying to do. When I forecast a scenario, this is some way of trying to control the market. But I know the market might behave slightly different, and I'm aware of that, and I accept that. I'm not trying to control. I'm just trying to project myself into a scenario to have the confidence, to have enough confidence of holding the trades and not changing my mind like you're doing and going from bullish to bearish to bullish to bearish and changing every time. The guys who are doing this are the guys who will lose the most. Sometimes you just need to have some confidence enough to hold the scenario, but just have one final rule that doesn't and never ever lets you go ahead from the maximum loss you will set. You need to have that rule on your money management. A maximum loss you afford to take and cannot be more than 5 to 7%. Okay? And whenever you get to this, losing 5 or 7% of your market cap, of your capital, you just damn trigger the stop loss. Even though you don't want to, you have to. You really should get that. I've already told you, I would be fucking ashamed to be stopped out on GBP/USD. But if it has to happen, I'll take it. Because that's how it is. I'd rather like to take a maximum stop loss and be ashamed of being stopped out right at the bottom, rather than holding that trade and being right this time and just be fucking wrong another trade and losing 12 to 20% on an asset I would never have lost that much onto. Okay? If you let yourself go into one trade, it can go right this time, but obviously at some point it's going to go wrong. And the thing is that if you let yourself go wrong, have a look at the psychology live room we've been making. The problems in there is that whenever you let yourself go into extended losses, more than expected in the beginning, you're going to get into the potential of denying that loss and just putting it aside, which means the loss will be enormous, but your mind is going to take it over and say, okay, no problem. You know how we're going to deal with it? It's too big to think smart with it, so we're just going to put it aside, and I'm going to hide that from you. So, as I said, your subconscious is going to take over and just hide that loss from you. And just going to let it there forever until it takes down your entire account. And this is not something you can afford. So you don't take that risk, even if you have to be stopped out at the bottom, you just take the damn loss. Okay? So, anyway, an hour long, so we're going to stop in here. I wish you guys a good day, and good trades. Trade safe, be really, really patient, and have the mindset of a trader. What was the initial goal regarding the altcoins and cryptocurrency sector scenario? To get to the buy and hold. So right now we've been moving forward with that scenario. We're ahead of the flushing pattern. So trade accordingly. If you're bullish, manage your risk and manage your portfolio to have some available cash to buy later on at better prices. If you don't have it, just take partial losses to get the cash to buy again at better prices. But don't do it right now as we're working support area, so taking additional stop losses is not the timing. So you just hold on right now, and if the market is breaking down the support as I expect it will, this is the time you want eventually to trigger some partial stop loss just to buy again at better prices. All you need to care about is that in the end, you need to have an average price that is below the support. Okay? you take Ethereums. The average price is going to be considered 400. So all you should care about is having an average price. In the end, whenever we'll get to the desert phase, okay, you need to have average price below than 400. Regarding Ethereums, I don't care how you do it, even if you bought a first couple of Ethereums at 600, or eventually if you hold some of 800, all you need to care about is having an approximate average price near 400. Because having anything above 400 is not that good. Not that worst of all, but not that good. The better is, the lower you'll be, below 500 on Ethereum is going to be the best. Because this is the average price, okay? And you've got the same thing for Bitcoins. Bitcoins is 6K. Anything you can buy with an average price below 6, and let's say, I would say right here, 6,500. Anything you have with an average price below 6,500 after the crash terminated is going to be a good price. I mean, you've done a good job. Those who will buy at the lows, pretty damn job, but that's how it is. Not everyone will be able to have that price, and that's not the point. The actual point is to have a damn buy and hold. You have to see long term. Get out of your speculative scenarios that you've been trading recently. Think long run. Having that price or that price is not going to change anything in the long run. If you zoom out the chart, as I said, consider this. Having that price, which is, you just got the average price, okay? You bought in here. Right, that's good. You're going to make a nice gain. Okay, if you bought that price, do you really think it's going to change a damn? No, it isn't. You're going to have a slightly better price, but does it really changes the entire game? No, it isn't. If you have that price, is it changing the big? Nothing at all. So you can try to be better than others, having better prices, but thinking in the long run, it's not going to change that much. So don't put yourself into too much pressure in here, trying to get the lowest prices and things like that. Just try to get decent prices is already enough. Okay? Allez, bye guys, and see you tomorrow.